is Unleash Prosperity Senior Fellow and the Heritage Foundation Chief Economist, EJ Antoni. EJ, what do you make of this deal? I mean, on paper, it just looks fantastic. It's better than where we were before. Hats off to the president on that one.
Well, Jason, I think this is just another example of the president's negotiating style, where we keep running into these apparent roadblocks, and he essentially realized that, look, I can just leverage the American people's purchasing power as a kind of financial weapon on the world stage. He has done that with tremendous success. Look at what just happened with Canada, for example, where they essentially said, look, we're putting this financial services tax, essentially a kind of tariff on U.S. tech companies. We're putting this in place. We're not budging, and there's nothing you can do about it, Mr. President. And he finally said, all right, I'm washing my hands clean of this, and we are not going to negotiate anymore, and the tariffs are going right back into effect. It was literally a matter of days later when Canada came crawling back to the negotiating table and basically gave Trump everything he wanted, saying, all right, fine, we forget the tax. We're not going to impose it. It's not even an option anymore, Mr. President. Just please come back to the negotiating table.
And one thing that this deal does, EJ, the 40% tariff on transshipping activities that China was trying to use, or Chinese exporters into the U.S. they were trying to use Vietnam as a sneaky go-around. Were they not trying to get their goods into the United States? And this basically throws up a wall, well, a very expensive wall in front of that. Am I reading that correctly?
Dagan, absolutely, and I'm so glad you brought this up, because this is actually one of the key areas in which China has been abusing countless free trade agreements throughout the world. And what they essentially do is they abuse country of origin provisions where product that is subsidized in China gets dumped in one country and then it's repackaged, relabeled, and reshipped into the United States under the guise of being made in Vietnam or made in Canada, made in New Zealand, wherever the case may be. So at the end of the day, this is yet another way that the president, I think, is fighting for American exporters and for American workers by saying, no, you're not allowed to abuse these laws anymore to the CCP.
Yeah. EJ, the Democrats are trying to make a lame attempt at trying to say, oh, the prices are going up. But, you know, the Waffle House, as we reported earlier, gotten rid of their egg surcharge, and the price of goods actually going down. Inflation has not been a consequence of the tariffs thus far.
No, certainly not. And we know that for a couple of reasons. First of all, we can look back at the first Trump administration and we can see the targeted tariffs that were put in place really didn't have an impact on inflation at all. No one was crying about inflation during Trump's first term, only during Biden's term. But furthermore, if we look at today, what we've seen in terms of these tariffs has been almost a nothing burger, in that most of them never actually have to get put into place, Jason. Oftentimes, the president can just threaten them and nations immediately go to the table and then everything gets put on pause. So we haven't even had a lot of these tariffs put into place yet, which is a big reason why you're not seeing any kind of trickle-down effect to consumers. But in terms of these food prices, I'm sorry, I find it so laughable that so many folks on the left were essentially silent. They said nothing about food prices going up somewhere between a quarter and a third under Biden. And now all of a sudden today, they want to talk about high food prices when they're basically not even budging.
There was a real and true cost of living crisis under Joe Biden, where American families were squeezed by the skyrocketing inflation and then the skyrocketing interest rates from the Federal Reserve to fight it. They were in a vice that was twisted and twisted and twisted, and they are flopping themselves on this steaming pile of audacity, launching this website trying to highlight rising food prices. EJ, final word before I curse.
Well, Dagan, one of the really important things to remember here is not just prices, but also what are wages doing. If we look at the average American's weekly paycheck, that has exceeded, its growth, that is, has exceeded the growth in prices this year. That's exactly the opposite of what we saw under Biden, where the average American's weekly paycheck fell by 4% after adjusting for inflation. Under Trump now, it's already up 1%, and it's only been a matter of months. That's tremendous progress.
Are you tired of winning, as President Trump would say? No. EJ Antoni, thank you, sir. Great to see you. Happy 4th.